Kristi Noem's rise from a quiet South Dakota ranch to the national political stage has never been a simple story of ambition. It is a tale threaded with heartbreak, grit, reinvention, and, whether people praise it or criticize it, an unmistakable ability to build a life of influence and wealth far beyond what anyone from her rural hometown could have predicted. By the time she stepped into 2025 with an estimated net worth of $10 million, the world wasn't just talking about her politics. They were talking about her empire, her home, her cars, her fortune, and the carefully crafted image that has turned her into one of America's most polarizing and fascinating political figures. But to understand how a farm girl from Hamlin County became a powerhouse governor with a lifestyle that commands attention, you have to go back to the beginning, to the ground she walked before anyone knew her name. Kristi Noem entered the world on November 30th, 1971, in Watertown, South Dakota. Her parents, Ron and Corinne Arnold, raised her in the wide-open stillness of Hamlin County, where days were long, winters were unforgiving, and work was never optional. The Arnold family ranch wasn't a scenic backdrop. It was a classroom, a community, and a place where children learned early that life demanded more than dreams. It demanded endurance. The Norwegian heritage on her father's side only deepened that sense of discipline. And in that rugged landscape, Kristi found not just the roots of her identity, but the foundation of the resilience that would later define her public image. Even as a teenager, she had a presence, poised, confident, and unusually comfortable being the center of attention. In 1990, fresh out of Hamlin High School, she won the title of South Dakota Snow Queen, a crown that blended beauty, charm, and leadership. To many, it seemed like the beginning of an exciting journey toward college, career, and a bright future. She enrolled at Northern State University, hoping to chart a path beyond the rural life she had always known. But fate had other plans. In 1994, tragedy arrived without warning. Her father died in a horrific farm machinery accident, the kind of loss that shatters not only a family but the stability of everything that family built together. For Kristi, it was the moment where the world she knew collapsed and adulthood arrived instantly, without mercy or choice. She left college behind, stepped into her father's boots, and took control of the family ranch. She wasn't prepared. She wasn't ready. But she didn't hesitate. That same year, she welcomed her daughter Cassidy, another life-changing chapter arriving during the most turbulent period of her young adulthood. While many would struggle beneath the weight of rebuilding a business and raising a child, Kristi pushed forward with a determination that became one of her defining traits. The ranch didn't merely survive under her leadership, it grew. Kristi expanded the property, added a hunting lodge, opened a restaurant, and transformed the land into a destination spot that blended outdoor adventure with rural hospitality. Her siblings returned to help, and together they rebuilt the operation into something bigger than their father ever dreamed. What began as a response to tragedy soon became a testament to the family's ability to reinvent itself, and Kristi's talent for turning adversity into opportunity. Even as her responsibilities multiplied, she refused to give up her education. The journey was long and unconventional: classes at Mount Marty College, studies at South Dakota State University, online coursework through the University of South Dakota, and long nights balancing textbooks with political meetings and family duties. In 2012, while serving in the U.S. House of Representatives, she finally completed her Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. The Washington Post called her Capitol Hill's most powerful intern, a tongue-in-cheek acknowledgement of the fact that she was technically earning college credit while actively shaping national legislation. Her political rise started quietly in 2006 when she ran for the South Dakota House of Representatives. The 6th District wasn't glamorous. It was farmland, small towns, and people who valued straight talk and hard work. Kristi spoke their language. Her platform focused on farming, small business, and conservative values, and in a crowded race she secured 39% of the vote. 2 years later she won again, climbing to 41% and solidifying her presence in state politics. Between 2007 and 2010, she immersed herself in the legislature, quickly earning the respect of her colleagues and rising to assistant majority leader. She pushed through 11 bills that became law, many related to property taxes and gun rights, reinforcing her image as a fiery advocate for the Second Amendment. Her influence expanded when she joined the Agriculture Land Assessment Advisory Task Force, working beside Senator Larry Roden, who would eventually become her lieutenant governor. She even joined the Civil Air Patrol as a legislative member, a symbolic gesture that revealed the growing political identity she was crafting: patriotic, rural, tough, and unafraid to take on new responsibilities. Then came 2010, the year Kristi Noem stepped onto the national stage. She entered the race for South Dakota's at-large seat in the U.S. House of Representatives, facing Chris Nelson and Blake Curd in a Republican primary that many assumed she would lose. Instead, her grassroots network, polished message, and magnetic presence pushed her to victory with 42%. The general election was a political brawl. Her opponent, Democrat Stephanie Herseth Sandlin, had name recognition, experience, and a moderate reputation. But Kristi hammered one point relentlessly: Sandlin had voted for Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. In a deeply conservative state, that was a liability. With slightly more fundraising power and a sharper message, Kristi won the race by a razor-thin 48% to 46% margin, shocking political observers and launching a new era in her career. Her re-election campaigns in 2012, 2014, and 2016 were easier, and each victory widened her margin. From Matt Varilek to Paula Hawks, Democratic challengers struggled to compete with Kristi's growing rural voter base and her fierce commitment to conservative talking points: low taxes, agriculture reform, and gun rights. By 2016, she had become a political veteran, respected by her colleagues and admired by Republicans nationwide. Colleagues on Capitol Hill saw her as more than a representative; they saw her as a rising star. She was elected liaison to House Republican leadership and worked closely with Speaker John Boehner to manage the party's large freshman class, pushing for aggressive spending cuts while maintaining a disciplined message. In 2011, she launched her own leadership PAC, Kristi PAC, signaling that she wasn't content to simply participate in Republican politics; she wanted to shape its future. Steve Kirby, a former lieutenant governor, served as treasurer, and fundraising poured in. In her first quarter, she raised $169,000 from PACs, placing her among the top freshman fundraisers. But by 2016, Kristi wanted something bigger: a return to South Dakota, not as a legislator, but as the state's chief executive. She announced her run for governor, setting up a high-stakes showdown with Attorney General Marty Jackley. It was one of the most closely watched Republican primaries in the country. In the end, Kristi's connection to rural voters, her conservative record, and her formidable campaign machine carried her to victory with 56%, cementing her status as a political force unlike any South Dakota had seen in decades. Her rise brought wealth, not just political power. By 2025, Kristi Noem's net worth was estimated at $10 million, a combination of land, business operations, book deals, national visibility, and savvy financial planning. And nowhere was that wealth more visible than in her home. Her mansion, valued at $3.66 million, is a sprawling 10,000-square-foot testament to polished elegance blended with rustic charm. Set against wide South Dakota landscapes, the home doesn't whisper luxury, it declares it. The great room greets guests with towering 19-foot ceilings, handcrafted with details, and one of the property's 4 fireplaces. The space is dramatic yet warm, a place where political donors might mingle one evening and family might gather quietly the next. The kitchen and dining area are designed for grand gatherings, holiday celebrations, and political events disguised as friendly dinners. With another fireplace nearby, the atmosphere blends sophistication with the comfort of a country lodge, making even simple meals feel ceremonial. Upstairs, 3 oversized bedrooms each feature private bathrooms and walk-in closets. The main floor master suite is a sanctuary of its own, with a fireplace, a spa-like bathroom equipped with a steam shower and jet tub, and a walk-in closet that could be mistaken for a boutique. Convenience defines the home, from laundry rooms on each floor to heated lower-level flooring that keeps winters comfortable even as blizzards whip through the plains outside. But Kristi's lifestyle extends far beyond the walls of her mansion. Her vehicles reflect not just wealth, but an identity steeped in rugged practicality. Topping her 2025 car collection is the GMC Sierra 2500 HD, a towering machine built for power, endurance, and the unpredictable roads of rural South Dakota. Its 6.6L Duramax turbodiesel engine pushes out 470 horsepower and an astonishing 975 lb-ft of torque, making it a favorite among ranchers and outdoor enthusiasts. Inside, leather seats, an advanced infotainment system, and premium audio elevate the truck from utility to luxury. Next is her Chevrolet Silverado 1500, sleek, modern, and packed with technology. With Super Cruise hands-free driving and an array of digital features, it represents the perfect marriage of rural reliability and contemporary sophistication. It's a vehicle that can shuttle her across the state for official duties or haul equipment on the ranch without missing a beat. Then there's the Chevrolet Suburban, the SUV that has become almost synonymous with American political families. Spacious enough for staff or family, seating up to 9, and powerful with a 6.2L V8 engine, the Suburban keeps pace with her multifaceted life. Whether she's attending a political event, taking her family on a trip, or navigating the snowy backroads of her home state, the vehicle delivers comfort and authority. Kristi Noem's lifestyle, from her mansion to her fleet of vehicles, tells a story. It's the story of a woman who grew up in the wind and dust of South Dakota, survived tragedy, built businesses, and climbed the political ladder with determination. It's the story of someone who crafted a brand of toughness, glamour, and conservative values that continues to resonate with supporters and provoke critics. Her wealth does not exist separately from her image. It is part of her narrative, one she has shaped carefully through decades of decision-making, risk-taking, and resilience. And yet, beneath all the luxury and political power, the story always returns to that ranch in Hamlin County, the place that forged her, challenged her, and ultimately defined the foundation of the empire she would go on to build.